Hey, how's it going guys? Today I'm going to show you how to permanently restore yellowing headlights fast and easy. Yellowing headlights is something very common in cars, and not only do they look bad, but they also have a very poor light output on the road at night. What happens is this lens on the headlight is made of polycarbonate plastic. And even though you can't see it, this comes with a UV protective coating from the factory. Over time the coating wears off, and then while you're driving and leave the car outside in bright sunlight, the UV rays coming from the sun is breaking down the polycarbonate structure on the lens, so the color of the lens goes from transparent to yellow. Over time this gets even worse and starts to look like this. Headlights look this bad can be restored like this, but it has to be done quickly because over time the damage can spread deep into the lens and create little cracks known as crazings, like you see in this headlight right here. Over time, these cracks get bigger and destroy the lens. So you're gonna have to buy a new headlight, which could be expensive. And that's why you need to restore your headlights before it's too late. And the restoration process I'm gonna show you only has 3 steps. Starting with the first step, you wanna rinse the headlight and the surrounding area using a microfiber towel to remove any dirt. Then dry the headlight, so we can move to the step 2, which is removing the top layer of yellowing plastic on the lens with some abrasives. So I have some cutting compound, car polish and metal polish, which are liquid abrasives, and some sandpapers, which are dry abrasives. All these products contain aluminium oxide as the abrasive agent in different amounts. Up to 5% in polish, up to 10% in compound, up to 25% in metal polish, and up to 100% in sandpapers, but with different grit sizes. Higher the number, finer the grit size. The reason I showed you all this is because restoring your headlights to the brand new condition is all about choosing the right polish and the right sandpaper. So for headlights like this, it is best to go with 600 grit, followed by 1500 grit, followed by 3000 grit. Also, it is best to wrap the sandpaper around a foam backing pad so you can put a uniform pressure on the lens as you're sanding. And if you have a drill, then you can go with the headlight polishing kit like this. So you get a backing plate for the drill, a wool pad, a foam pad, and you have your sandpapers. 240, 320, 600, 800, 1200, 1500, 2000 and 3000. So that is there if you want. Alright, first you want to mask up the surrounding body panels using some masking tape so you wouldn't damage the paint on those panels while sanding. Then spray some water on the lens and on the sandpaper and start sanding. It is best to do the sanding in one direction, like here I'm doing horizontal with overlapping passes to cover the entire area of the lens. Spray more water as you need and keep sanding with light to medium pressure on the sandpaper. When the color of the water running down the lens turns from yellow to sort of milky white, wipe the lens. And you can see the yellowing plastic is gone, but now there's a uniform white haze on the lens. These are sanding scratches from the 600 grit sandpaper. You had to remove this, so now get the 1500 grit and start sanding again. This time instead of going horizontal, you can go vertical, so you can remove the horizontal scratches a little easier. Once you go over the entire lens, wipe the lens again, and now you have an even finer haze from the 1500 grit. It's kinda hard to see. So now get the 3000 grit and do this one more time in horizontal strokes to remove the vertical scratches, like that, and you're ready for the compound. For this you can use a microfiber towel if you do this by hand, or the wool pad if you're using the drill. I'm gonna go with the drill because it is much quicker. So get some compound on the pad, and then remove the tape and start buffing. You want to maintain a consistent speed with a uniform pressure on the pad while keeping the pad flat against the headlight. And keep the pad moving to avoid heat buildup and burning the plastic. Cover the entire area with horizontal overlapping passes, and then switch to vertical passes and cover the entire area again. After the compound, you can wipe the lens and start from there, but I'm gonna go one extra step. I'm gonna switch to the foam pad. I'm gonna use a little bit of polish to bring back the factory shine. This is completely optional, but this brings up that mirror shine you see on a brand new headlight. Alright, I'm gonna wipe the lens. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, here's the before and here's the after. The clarity is back, just like in a brand new headlight. So that's how you restore headlights with very bad yellowing using sandpapers. But for headlights like this with only minor yellowing, you can skip all the sanding work and start out with the compound. So I'm gonna do this one real quick, no sanding, just compound. Although any good plastic polish will do. So just get some compound on the pad and start buffing. And buffing. And buffing. Until the headlight starts to look really clean. And then wipe the headlight. I'm also gonna use some isopropyl alcohol to remove any leftover compound. And that is a brand new looking headlight. So now you can move to the step 3, which is applying a protective coating on the headlight to keep the headlight from yellowing again. And I'm going to show you 5 common options so you could choose the one that makes more sense to you. First, you could use UV hard coat. This is the most commonly used protective coating on headlights at the factory. But this only comes in commercial quantities and you need to have a professional grade spray gun and a compressor setup to use this. You also need a UV heat lamp to harden this on the headlight. So as you can tell, this is too expensive for most people at home. And this only lasts about 5 years. So this option is not the option for me. Second, you could use an aftermarket headlight coating. These coatings are cheap to buy compared to an OEM style coating. And they come in spray cans. You just spray a thin coat on. Let the coating dry. Then apply a second coat. And you're done. This is actually a good option, but these coatings only last about a year. So this option is also not the option for me. Third, you could use a clear coat. Clear coats come in cheap rattle cans like this are acrylic clear coats and they only last a few years before they start to peel. That's why car manufacturers use 2K clear coat on cars, which is a polyurethane clear coat mixed with hardness, because they provide more hardness, chip and scratch resistance than acrylic clear coats. They do come in rattle cans, but the manufacturers do not advise using these on headlights and they make special clear coat for headlights with special primers to go with it. Even though these 2K clear coats can last a long time, car manufacturers never use clear coat on headlights, and one of the reasons is refraction of light. Light changes its speed and direction when going through different mediums. That's why a pencil in the water looks like it's bent, or an image behind a glass of water looks like it's reversed, or images looks bigger through a magnifying glass. Regular clear coats have a higher refractive index than headlight coating. So I'm gonna spray some clear coat on this headlight lens here. Like that. And now I'm gonna place a light behind the lens. As you can see, the light is going through the bare lens without any distortion, but as I move the light onto the side with clear coat, see how you lose the sharpness of the light because of the refraction? This can reduce the range of visibility of the headlight. So this is by far the worst option and definitely not the option for me. The fourth option you have is to use headlight covers. These covers fit right over your headlight and they provide good protection from UV light and rock chips, but they leave a gap around the headlight for cooling purposes. And I often see these edges turn yellow over time because of that, and personally I don't like the look of these, so this option is also not the option for me. And that brings us onto my fifth option, which is installing a headlight protection film. These films generally last about 5 years, and the best thing is this doesn't get bonded onto the lens like a coating. So when this goes bad, you just remove the bad film and install a new one. You don't have to restore the lens, and that makes this the only permanent way to restore your headlights. So now it starts to make sense why this is offered as a rather expensive option at car dealerships. So this is by far the best option for me. And here's what you need to install the film. You need a razor blade, a small squeegee, a heat gun or a hairdryer, a spray bottle with some distilled water, and some dishwashing liquid or isopropyl alcohol depending on the film you're using. Alright, first you want to clean the lens to remove any leftover polish. Soapy water is good for this, but isopropyl alcohol is better. You also want to clean your hands as well, otherwise you're gonna leave fingerprints on the film. Then spray down the lens and the film with water. Place the film over the lens. Then start squeezing from one corner to the other corner along the center of the headlight. That way you can push all the wrinkles to the edges. After that you can start squeezing out the water in short strokes. If the film is bunching up around the curves, do not try to flatten it down with a squeegee. Instead you lift up the film, mist it down with some water, use the heat gun to warm up the film very lightly, and then stretch the film around the curves. And then use short strokes until you get rid of all the wrinkles. This could be a little hard but totally doable at home. And if you see some moisture under the film that you can't remove, don't worry because that will evaporate through the film in few days, because this is a breathable material and also very thin, so this wouldn't affect the heat dissipation from the headlight either. So once you're done, you get your razor blade and trim the excess film along the edge, then work out all the folds one last time. And check this out. This looks amazing. I mean, here's the before and here's the after. Now this headlight is protected from yellowing, fading, and also from getting rock chips for the years to come. And that wraps up my final step on restoring yellowing headlights permanently. So leave a comment down below, let me know what you think, and if you're wondering where to buy all these products I used, they are in the description. As always, if you like the video, press the like button. To see more DIY videos just like this one, click on the Junkie DIY Guy logo to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.